Hello, entrepreneurs. Happy Tuesday evening. Joe DeChara coming to you live from downtown Flushing, New York, once again with another amazing version of Joe DeChara Presents. And tonight, I cut it to the wire, folks. You know, when I plan these Facebook Lives out, StreamYard only gives you, well, actually, Facebook only gives you like a small window. And if you don't go live, they delete you, like you never even wanted to do the live. So Facebook is a whole yeah, no more comments on Facebook. They might like shut us down. Just like I've been hearing a lot of instances where Facebook is like changing their algorithm and just a whole bunch of stuff. So I want to be nice to Facebook. If you're watching live, give me a hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay so that I can go back and I like to see who's watching and who's following me, because it's important to know who I'm connecting with. If you don't know me, I am a CPA. I make money by doing helping people set up their books, bookkeeping, tax preparation, setting up, corporations, and resolving tax problems. That's my business. That's what I specialize in. But to do my job, it's become apparent that there's a lot of misconceptions out there, just like anything, and there's a wide gap between the truth and what most people believe is important in their business. So I'm coming, after all this time, I am coming just now to learn that, a big part of my job is to educate people. And the way that my accounting business was structured, I did that with people that had become my clients. So if you weren't my client, I wasn't connecting the dots for anyone. But once you stepped into my office and I was able to start doing my job, I went through a process and I explained to my clients the importance of things like separating your personal stuff from your business stuff. And it was like, it's like one of those things they call unconscious competence, I think. Like, something so well, like you just assume like everybody else knows it. But the truth is that the vast majority, millions, tens of millions, over 20 million business owners out there really do not understand the importance of some of these simple concepts that really cost zero. It costs zero money to implement. And let me just, because this is going to be a short version. I'm really liking the shorter versions, and I'm sure a lot of other people do. So I'm going to tell you a short story about a client today. And, I love the woman. I respect her. We have a great relationship. But there was this divide where she needed to get a quick line of credit to finance something that would be beneficial to her business. And I know what her credit score is, she told me, but I didn't have some vital information. And because this was like, we needed it, like, and that's never a good way to do business. So had I, done what I'm going to be doing in the future with clients like her, is I'm going to demand that I need this information really to do my job, because she had no way of foreseeing what was ahead. Not like I do. She's in uncharted territory. She's never done this before. I have the luxury of doing it thousands and thousands of times. So I haven't, so in the way I look at it is, if I would have conveyed this information to her properly, things would have been different. She would have got the loan because it was just a few minor things. So what did I ask her for? I asked her for a personal business accounts. I wanted to know, how much money did she have in the bank? Did she have credit card debt? And she didn't give it to me. Okay. And I didn't press the issue. And today, so I asked her, I said, if I had done my job and I had this information, you might have gotten a loan. And then I explained to her why it was important. And she came back and she said, it wasn't that she didn't trust me or she didn't think it, she didn't understand the relationship between her personal credit and the business. And so that's what I want to, point out tonight. So when individuals start a business and they're automatically classified as a sole proprietor, unless you're somebody like me that I know if I'm going to start a business, I'm going to set up the corporation first, and then I'm going to do business. First-time business owners don't have that luxury. So let me paint you a picture. Take any successful entrepreneur, and I guarantee you, I will put money on the fact that they have an S-corp and they know not to mix their personal transactions with their business transactions. How best they can do it under the circumstances. So a really successful, Richard Branson is not buying, McDonald's for lunch through his business account. I mean, he's not, buying his own personal groceries that he eats. Richard Branson knows that there is a line between what his personal stuff is and his business. So the point tonight, folks, is that it doesn't cost money to understand that when you start your business is when you have to recognize that you have to start segregating your personal stuff from your business. Now, the mechanics behind that is what I do as an accountant. So when I ask a client to connect me to their bank through my Wave apps, and then I could see all of the transactions, I'm getting a history, a story of what's going on. And then we one of the things we do in our process is when we go through the accounts, we identify what are the personal expenses, because there is a definite correlation with a business owner's personal finances and their business when they are at the solopreneur stage. Okay. So when you get, like Larry Bratton has, multiple entities and he's got a lot of stuff going on all over the place. So there, I guarantee you, he doesn't have any personal business going through those entities because he's already gone through the process. He's already got his cash flow and I'm not picking on Larry. I'm just using him as a name, as a successful entrepreneur. I could use Richard Branson, anybody that gets to that point. But when you first start a business, there is no way around it. You have to commingle your personal funds because you were never set up as a business. So there is a process, and every process starts in the same place with a thought. It starts up here. So Meg, if you're watching, we just had this conversation and you understand now why it's so important. And I don't care if you're not making money, and that's another excuse when people say, well, I'm not making any money yet. Well, I guarantee you, if you're in business, you're spending money. You already have expenses automatically by default. If anything about your business has to do with you being on the internet, well, that part of your internet cost becomes a business expense. So the question becomes, well, that sounds logical. Okay. We can legitimately write off things like my internet, my car, the part of my house that I'm using or apartment. There's stuff you can write off that, until you went through my process and I uncovered all of the information, I can usually find some creative stuff to legally write off. And I'll give you an example, the converting personal use property to business property, like a desk. Let's say you had a kitchen table and you converted it into your desk because, well, whatever the value of that kitchen table is going on my client's tax return because that's a legitimate tax return. Now, that's the information. The mechanics and the logistics behind it, that's where your accountant and your bookkeeping system is important. So that's my story tonight, folks. I'm sticking with it. I hope I'm getting through to people. If you want to connect with me, if you want to chat about some of these things that I'm talking about, just all you have to do is go to Time with Joe for a free chat. I have nothing to pitch. I'll give you 15 minutes of you can pick my brain. And that's my Christmas gift to everybody. So if you take me up on that before Christmas, that's your Christmas gift. And even if you don't celebrate Christmas, the offer is open. So God bless. Thank you, everybody. Joe DiChiara over and out. Thank you.